What is going on, everybody? DC Fitness Squad. Hope you're all doing well and amazing today. It's your favorite coach, Danny C. Happy freaking Monday. All right, if you're watching this live, I appreciate you. If you're watching this on the replay, I want you to both hashtag I'm here. Whether you're watching live right now, you're tuning in now, or you're watching. Chase, what is going on? Hope you're doing amazing. I'm seeing some other individuals tune in. I appreciate you. If you're watching live or on the replay and you plan on tuning in because it's going to be a good one, make sure you hashtag I'm here in the comment section. Hashtag I'm here. I always look back. I can see some platforms who's here right now, but some platforms I can't, but I always look back after the podcast and I know who's tuning in. So make sure that you stay tuned in. It's going to be very valuable today. We're going to be talking about, I need you to stop doing these 3 things if you're trying to lose body fat. And I had an episode that was similar in terms of building some lean muscle and toning up last week, but this is different, completely different reasons, completely different meat and potatoes, different flavoring, and we are going to get into the different reasons, the mistakes that you need to stay away from, all right? Because I'm going to get into this, but this podcast is for you if you've tried to lose weight and you've just gained it back. It's for you if you've been sedentary and you need to get back on track. Like, there's no excuse at this point, and I want to help you out. All right, I'm excited to serve today, and let's get into it. All right, so let me get this podcast going, and I will start the countdown. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you massive value that you can implement on your fat loss journey. Today, we'll be talking about 3 mistakes that are stopping you from losing body fat, especially on your stomach and hips. All right. This podcast is for you. I was just talking to the audience a little bit earlier before I started this podcast. I have some individuals watching live right now, but this is for you, this podcast, or if you're watching live, if you try to lose weight before and you just gained it all back, right? This podcast is for you if you've tried to diet before and it was just too restricted and you fell off track. This podcast is for you if work has been extremely crazy and you've been sedentary and you're trying to get back on track, but you just can't. You're sitting at your desk all freaking day. All right. I want to be that coach that gets you back on track. But when you get back on track, I want you to avoid these 3 things that we're going to be talking about today. All right. Because losing your next 20 pounds, losing body fat, toning up around the hips and stuff, it doesn't involve supplements. It doesn't involve cookie cutter BS programs. All right. I'm going to share with you 3 things, 3 mistakes that are actually stopping you, that could be wasting your energy, that are actually stopping you from losing body fat around your stomach and your hips. All right. Number 1, the first thing you probably could be doing wrong in terms of losing body fat, the first thing you could be doing wrong, the first mistake is you're not eating enough. You're not eating enough. All right. And I actually talked about this last week. And I wanted to say in the beginning of the podcast, like, if you tune in and you're a regular on here, I appreciate you. I love you. But you're going to hear similar methods because success isn't about shiny object syndrome. It's not about that new supplement pill. It's not about that new workout. You know, success is about, especially in your weight loss journey, like, it's about doing kind of the same stuff fucking over and over. That's why very successful individuals have like the same boring rituals every day. That's why they're extremely successful, because it compounds over time. Instead of thinking like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, like, let's stay consistent. So the first thing you could be doing wrong that I continuously talk about, DC Fitness Squad, is not eating enough. And let's talk about why this is bad, right? If you're in a calorie deficit, right, you think you're losing weight. It's not. It's just not happening. And that's why you're struggling. Gabby, I'm seeing you. What's going on? How are you, girl? All right. And you're just struggling. All right. If you're in a calorie deficit, you may not be eating enough to get your body out of starvation mode. All right. When your body's in starvation mode, it actually preserves fat to protect you. Our body is that smart. And listen to why it does that. The last thing your body wants, if you're in starvation mode, is to get rid of that stubborn body fat that you have, that extra layer, because it's trying to survive. Since you're not giving, you're like, what do you even mean? Since you're not giving your body enough nutrients it needs to actually, function the way it's supposed to, it's actually going to store body fat just in case it needs to use that for energy later on. Because our body uses energy. The first energy system is carbohydrates. But if you're not eating enough, it's going to tap into some fat storage, but that's not all that good. You might be like, oh, that's awesome. Like, now I'm going to be like, that's what keto is using fat for energy. But your body now sees like, all right, I'm not getting enough food. I'm actually going to store this fat around the stomach area because Danny might be in the jungle. He might be in famine. So your body is so smart that it knows you're not eating enough. It's actually going to store body fat just in case it needs to use it later if I miss a meal, if I am in famine, because our body is that freaking smart. So you need to start catching up. Your mind needs to start catching up to your body and start feeding it more nutrients, right? Start giving your body the proper amount of nutrients it needs to lose that body fat. Does that make sense? If you're watching right now, wherever the frick you are, I appreciate you. Drop a thumbs up if that makes sense. You're like, oh shit, I was eating only 1,000 calories a day. I need to eat more to actually lose weight. Like when clients come into my program, we make them eat more. We eat them. We eat our clients. No, we make them eat more. All right. Like 95% of my clients come to me like under eating. All right. Under eating. And even if you think like you're eating a lot, I guarantee like you're probably not eating enough. All right. So if you want to know, all right, if you want to know how much you kind of need to eat, I want you, this is very important. So pay attention, whether you're watching now or on the replay. Go to TDEE.com, Total Daily Energy Expenditure.com, TDEE.com. Fill out everything. It's going to ask like gender, height, weight. It's very quick, no worries. And it's going to give you a maintenance amount of calories to eat. Maintenance. So you're going to put in your weight. Let's say your weight is 210 pounds. It's going to give you the exact amount of calories to eat for 210 pounds sedentary, and whatever your goal, like maybe just I would put for maintenance, like put maintenance, put as your goal, like you're trying to maintain, and then it's going to spit out a certain number. All right. I think it gives you the goal to maintain, lose weight, or gain weight. You could put lose weight. I know all of you are trying to lose weight. That's why you're listening to the podcast. That's why you're tuning in. I get it. But I would start at maintenance, put it for maintenance. I would start eating at maintenance again, because what we do specifically with our clients is they enroll into the program and we have them eat at maintenance again, because 95% of the clients that come to us are not eating enough and their metabolism is shit. It's broken. They're eating 1,200 calories a day, and we need to fix it by eating maintenance, or eating at maintenance calories. So usually clients come to us really eating at like 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, which isn't enough, and we need to bring them back to like 1,700, 1,800, like 2,000. Eventually we creep them up to maintenance. And then what you have to do, gentlemen, is then drop it back down in that calorie deficit, because yes, you do have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, lose body fat. But if you've been in a major calorie deficit, like this is your maintenance, you've been down here for like months, you are in starvation mode. Your body is actually storing body fat. All right. So make sure that makes sense. If you're on Facebook, drop a thumbs up. Twitter, YouTube, drop a thumbs up. Awesome. I'm seeing comments too. I'm going to go back and look at those. But make sure that all makes sense. All right. That's the first thing you 100% have to do, is make sure you're eating enough, because probably you're not eating enough. And that's why storing body fat around your stomach and hips is like, that's why it's happening. You're not eating enough. So literally go to that website I said. All right. Go to the website TDEE.com. Fill in everything. It's going to give you a number for maintenance, and then eat at maintenance for a little bit, and then you could start dropping it down. Usually what I do for my clients is like 150 to 300 calories, like for every 2 weeks, So eat at maintenance and then start dipping down back in that calorie deficit. And now you're actually going to lose weight like the right way. Does that make sense? Is that cool? Not eating enough. Drop a thumbs up if that makes sense. If that's good. Not eating enough is a big mistake that's stopping you from losing body fat, especially around your stomach and hips. All right. The second mistake that is probably stopping you from losing body fat around your stomach and hips is no rest or recovery. All right. Not enough rest or recovery. Going to the gym and running just like 6-7 days a week, it's not going to get you progress. Doing doubles like frequently, morning in the workout, it's not going to help your progress. All right. Your body's never going to grow during exercise. All right. In fact, it actually does the exact opposite. Your muscle fibers will actually be broken down during exercise, and rest will actually aid the recovery and growth process. All right, that's very important to know. Resting is everything. And about like 4 or 5 years ago, I was that one that was just overdoing it, outworking. I was telling myself I'm not good enough. I had self-doubts. So I would just like work out 6-7 days a week, and I got no progress. I remained 30 pounds overweight. I swear. Like I was working out harder than I work out now, and I wasn't getting results because I was outworking myself. I wasn't resting like I needed to, and I was just stressing myself out. High stress, not enough rest, like you are going to keep that weight on. All right. So don't expect to lose weight. So the second thing you're probably doing wrong is not resting and recovering enough. 6 to 8 hours of sleep, try for that. And also only work out like 2 to 5 times a week. 30 to 60 minutes, that is it. That's all you need. All right, does that make sense? Is that all good? Awesome, I love it. Podcast, give me a silent nod if you're listening to the podcast. The third thing you're probably doing wrong, it might be a mistake. If you're not doing any of this, that's amazing. Make sure you avoid it in the future. The third thing, though, is not focusing on compound movements. You're not focusing on compound movements to lose body fat in the stomach and hips, and you need to be. All right, you're doing too much cardio, you're doing too much treadmill, too much elliptical. Like, I literally made a post today. If you want to tone up, lose body fat, build some lean muscle. And when I talk about building muscle, it's not like getting bulky, huge, you're going to hop on a bodybuilding stage. Like, build some lean muscle fiber. And if you do that, you're going to be burning more calories throughout the day. All right, but you're not focusing on compound movements. You can't actually build some lean muscle with just a freaking elliptical. All right, so focus on compound movements that work more than one muscle group. That is a compound movement. So when you think of compound movements, you don't have to think about like heavy barbells, heavy lifting, none of that. Just workouts, exercises that work more than freaking one movement. All right, this is not only going to help you build that lean muscle, but it's going to help you, like I said, burn more calories throughout the day. Just doing bicep curls or doing arm day twice a week, just doing tricep extensions, like that's not going to get you toned arms. That's not going to get you a toned body. That's not going to get to that. Doing abs is really not going to get to that body fat around your abs. Like, yes, it may sculpt them, but you're still going to have some body fat around those abs, over those abs, which comes with compound movements, resting, recovering. Obviously, the abs are made in the kitchen. So abs is diet, but like the whole point is like, don't just do accessory exercise. Don't just do isolation exercise the whole time, right? Don't just do like, front raises with your shoulders and bicep curls and just tricep extensions. You need compound movements because compound movements are going to work more muscle fibers, which is in return is going to burn more calories. You're going to be using more energy because you're using more muscle fibers, and that in return, gentlemen, is going to get to that stubborn belly fat, stubborn body fat, help you get toned up, right? Some compound movements that are regulars are like chest press, squats, deadlifts, shoulder press. And like, again, don't let this intimidate you. You can do this stuff with no weight, nothing. I have clients losing weight, 22 pounds, over 20 pounds straight from home, no equipment, because you can do compound exercises from home with no equipment. You can squat with no equipment. You can do, even if you have like 5-pound dumbbells, right? Just going on your floor and doing a chest press, doing a push-up on your knees. Those are things that you could 100% do, because I just did a whole podcast on this last week. I keep on hitting this damn microphone. Being a beginner is okay. Like, it's completely fine. I actually prefer if you're a beginner, because that means this is like your first time around, right? You've never tried a cookie cutter BS diet plan before, or, someone that's just going to show up an hour, count your reps and not help you with nutrition. Like, I'm glad that this is your first time around. If you're a beginner, let's help you lose your next 20 to 30 pounds the right way. And the right way is avoiding these 3 mistakes. That's part of it. All right, avoid these 3 mistakes. Avoid not eating enough. You need to eat enough to give your body the proper nutrients it needs to lose body fat. The second thing you need to really fix, because it could be a mistake, is you're not resting or recovering enough. You're busting your butt, but you're only getting like 3 hours of sleep. Don't expect results. All right, take some rest days. Make sure you're getting good sleep. Keep the stress low and focus on that more than anything. All right, and also make sure you're focusing on compound movements instead of making the mistake of just focusing on cardio. All right, stay off the elliptical, learn how to utilize some equipment, and that's completely fine. I have free resources, no problem. Let me know if you need some free resources on lifting. Even I talk about in my story, my free DC Fitness Squad community, I put in there free workout programs that are, going to help you, free recipes, so let me know. But focus on avoiding those 3 things: not eating enough, not resting enough, and not doing compound movements enough. All right, I want you to rest enough. I want you to do compound movements, and I want to make sure that you're actually, eating enough to fuel your body. All right, that's it. this helpful? Makes sense? Drop some fire in the comments if you got value and this made sense. If you're listening to the podcast, maybe you can leave me a 5 stars. You can leave me a review. I would really appreciate it. Or you could just keep silently listening to the podcast and getting value. I believe, if I'm right, Nick, what is going on? Seeing your name. Hope you're doing amazing. Xander, what is going on? Hope you're doing amazing. I believe, if I'm correct, this is the 92nd freaking podcast. I started this podcast in March. 92nd podcast. So it's been awesome delivering value for all of you. I hope it's helpful. I'm going to continue going, and I will talk to you on the next episode. See ya. DC Fitness Squad, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. I literally keep like hitting this freaking mic with my face. But I hope this was helpful. All right, 3 things you have to avoid in terms of losing that stubborn body fat, because I know a lot of my clients come to me and they're like, yeah, I worked with a personal trainer before. I did CrossFit before. Hey, I tried these supplements. I tried Herbalife. I tried this and keto, and I cut carbs. I'm like, oh my God. So I really took all that, and I'm like, this is what you need to avoid to lose your next 20 pounds, lose body fat, get toned up around the stomach and hips. And watch it on the replay if you're tuning in late, because this was helpful. And if you watched it already, like, watch it again, take notes, implement, because that's the difference between the people that just hear this stuff and the people that just actually listen to it and take action. That's the difference between losing your next 50 freaking pounds and just staying stuck. All right. So hope this makes sense. I appreciate you so much. If you need more one-on-one help, all right, enrollment is closed right now, but all right, we can put you on the waiting list. Let me know. Just message me. We can talk about your goals, see if we're even a good fit. And I appreciate you. Much love. Talk soon. See ya.